Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, we successfully load all that our routes, right? For the home, there is a menu page, about page, and then contact page. Now I want to update our menu. In menu layout, I want to change a little bit. Here I have already loaded some of the cards, so that is in our menu page, right? So now here I want to add one of the model. Before when you click it, it's loaded in particular right side. So how I want to load this everything in one of the model. Then that will be very much lucrative. Right now we don't need this router. I close this router. Okay, I simply close this router. Here I want to change that our layout will be if you go, that is our menu component. I want to go to our menu component. Right now I close everything. Okay, I close everything, navigation, main, CSS, home, I close it. And if you go to our component as a menu component, so that is our menu component, right? Into the menu component, before I loaded with the bootstrap. Here you can say I loaded that bootstrap container, that is a row and then column 6. So right now I want to change it. Here I want to do, that will be, if you go to that React bootstrap, into the React bootstrap, if you go to that layouts, okay, into the layout, you can see that is one of the container, that is one of the row, and also there is another row. If you want to add that multiple one, then that will be the row and then the column. So better right now I want to display that things like that way. Here if you want to use it, that container, I want to do, if you go, and that is our main.js. Into the main.js we need to display the dish, that means the dish details, and then there is a menu, right? So I want to simply, first of all, that is the menu, I want to remove it. Okay, I simply remove everything. I remove it, and also I remove it. I totally remove everything from here. That is our dev started, dev is ended. Okay, so that is one of the dev. I want to simply remove everything. Okay, I simply make it as a clean. And now I want to load one of the container. Okay, so if you write down as a container, you can see that is a container will be comes from to the React bootstrap. So now I want to add it. Container is loaded, container is ended. Okay, and also if you go, that should be loaded. You can see there's the input container from to the React bootstrap. Great. And into this area I want to load one of the row. So I simply loaded that row, so that will be the row, that will be also comes from the React bootstrap. Also make that sure it's inputted this row. You can see it automatically inputted this row from to the React bootstrap. Great. So for the row I want to add some of the layout. Okay, here I want to add some of the layout is for the large skin. For the large skin, that will be display as a 3 means every row divided by the 12 columns, so that means 3 means that will be loaded by the 4, right? So I want to for the large skin, that will be as a 3. For the medium skin, I want to make it as a 3. And for the small skin, okay, that is for the small, I want to load it as a 6. That means 2 will be loaded. And for the extra small, that will be loaded as a 6. So you can also get it if you go to that bootstrap. Here there is also this command. Okay, in here you can see there is a medium skin, there is a small, the small size, there is a medium, there is a large. Okay, so that is all that column. So I simply loaded it, which is totally fine. And here I want to load our menu. Our menu means here I want to load that menu. Okay, because I have already loaded our menu. You can see that is actually our menu. So now this menu I will be loaded in here, and also we have to load that as a dish details, and these dish details I want to load with the model. Okay, now I want to first of all I want to check it. I loaded that container, click as a save all, and now if you go our page, now refresh it, you can see it's now display like that way. And also that is comes from our which page, that is comes from our that is a menu. Here I have loaded that menu item, right? If you now go to that menu item, here also I want to update it. So that is our dev. After the dev I want to load another in React bootstrap as a fragment. Okay, that will be as a fragment, then fragment. So that is a fragment. You can see that is a fragment. I simply load this fragment, and I want to close this fragment. I simply close it. And also its fragment will be loaded from the React fragment from the React, which is totally fine. And here I want to load also another container. Sorry, the container, there is a container will be comes from the React router React bootstrap. I simply loaded this container. Great. And here I want to load one of the column. Okay, so that will be as a column. I simply loaded this column. Great. So now our column and then container will be comes from our React Bootstrap. So that is actually our appropriate, right? Here in our menu, I have loaded this row and I loaded this menu, and after that row, I will load this div, right? So that will be load out this total card. So this card now I want to take it into this column area. Okay. So better I want to card this total part. I cart it. So fragment container column, and then that is our card. And after that, I simply paste it. Okay. So now everything should be great. Now if you click as a save all, and now if you go click as a refresh, you can see it's now load like that way. Here I want to make it as a total wide. So if you want to make this total wide in our menu, so into this menu there is another container. So into this container area I want to make it as a fulled. Okay, fulled and fulled I want to make it as a true. So then that will be true. So then that will be our total wide. Okay, that is a fulled. I want to make it as a total wide. Click as a save all. Now if you go, that will be as a total screen. Click as a refresh. You can see now it's perfect. So now that is perfectly loaded all that our data. Great. And now I want to load one of the model. That means if you click it, then one of the model will be loaded, and here that will be display all that our details, right? If you go to that React Bootstrap, if you go to that component, into this component there is also another one as a model. You can see that is a model. I want to load this model component. Here this model will be like that. Okay, so it will be like that. So if you want to use this model, then that is our model code. I simply loaded this model code, I copy it, and now in here in our menu, into this menu, before this container here I want to paste it. Okay, I simply paste this model in here. So into this model area we don't need this title, I remove it, and also we don't need this header, I remove it. Model footer, into the footer area only close button will be needed, and save changes we don't need this. I simply remove this button. Great. And that is the model body. So into this model body area here I want to load our which data. Before that was as a dish details data, right? So now this dish detail data I want to load it into the model body. Okay, here I simply loaded this dish details. Great. So great. So now we have to work a little bit for the loading that model. So that is in our model body, I loaded that dish details, and there is a footer body that will be as a close button. That is a model. So when you use that as a model, also we have to load it. Model will be comes from to the React Bootstrap. You can see there is a React Bootstrap here. We want to load that model, and also there is another button. You can see there is also another button. We have to load this button. I simply loaded this button, that will be also comes from to the React Bootstrap. So for loading this model, also here they have some of the instructions. You can see there is a handle close, handle show. When that will, and also there is a by default that will be as a show. I want to do for the first time I want to create one of the property in our state. So into this states area I want to create one of the property as a show. Okay, I make it as a show. A show property will be for the first time as a false. Okay, that means it will be not loaded for the first time. And then I want to create two of this function. Okay, here I name it as a model close, and array function. I simply loaded this array function, and here into this function area I want to use one of the set states. So that was this, and then the set state. So into the set states area I have already created our property as a show. Right now I want to do when that will be as a model close, then our show will be as a false. Okay, so I make it as a show, and this show will be as a false. So that will be as a false. Great. And also I want to create another one that will be as a model. Okay, model open, and then the same array function. I simply loaded this array function, and now with this and with the set states method, now when that will be as a model open, I want to make our show property will be as a true. Okay, so I simply loaded both of these in here. So when our model close will be executed, then our set states method, our show property value will be updated as a false. When it will be as a model open, then our show property will be as a true. Great. So now we have to display it in our dish, right? So you can see there is a console log. We don't need this console log right now. I simply remove it. So in particular that position, that is our selected dish, and here I loaded past that dish before, right? I hope you already remembered that part. So in particular that position, when that will be loaded, here I want to also in our setStates method, I want to pass this show. Our show will be what? Then that will be not as a show. That means by default that is as a false. Then I want to make it as a not false. Not false means that will be as a true, right? I want to make it as a show. That will be as a not our state property. That will be as a this state. So that is a this state, and then our property name as a show. I simply loaded this show in here. Okay, perfect. So here we have to pass it, because that will be loaded in with our, that means one of the model will be loaded, and into this model area our this dish, all the data will be loaded. Okay friend, I hope it's very much clear to you. So now in our model, so into the model you can see that is also as a show. That means it should display that show, which is totally fine, and there is a on height. So for the show, what right now, which one we have to use? I have already created one of the property in our state. So now we have to declare this state property. That will be the this state, right? That will be the this state, and our property name as a show. And for the on height I want to load. I have already created one of the function that will be the this, and I have created this function as a model will be as a close. Okay, so I copy it. So then that will be as a this, and then model close. And also the same for the close button. For the close button I want to load it. That will be as a this, and then model will be as a close. Great. So now that should be load this data. Now let's check this out. If you now click as a save all, and now if you go our page, now click as a refresh. Right now all that our data is loaded. If you now click it, you can see our model is loaded and all the data is loaded. And here that is a little bit big size, but I want to increase our model size. If you want to increase this model size, and then that will be here, that is our model. So into this model area I want to use that as a size, and model size I want to use it as a large. Okay, so then that will be as a large size. Click as a save all, and now if you go refresh it again, now if you click it, yeah, you can see our model is become update. So now everything is great, everything is loaded in here. Great, so it's loaded, and there is also another one is perfectly get this specific ID as a BBQ chicken pizza, French fry, perfectly get that images, French fry, and all the data is loaded into the our model. Okay, you can see if you click it, its model is open, every data is open. If you go click outside, it will be gone. Also if you click it in our close button, yes, it's gone. Okay, great. That means everything is great. So that is our model close, that is the model close, and rather than that will be show this model. Okay, how you can load some of the model in your page. I hope friend it's very much clear to you. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.